Have you ever wondered why your life seems so different from others? Why did the challenges you faced seem so intense, so personal, almost as if something or someone was deliberately placing obstacles in your path? That persistent feeling that you are different, that there is something special about you that the world seems determined to suppress. It's not paranoia, it's not ego, it's not imagination. It is a profound truth that few have the courage to acknowledge. Stop for a moment and reflect your greatest sufferings, your deepest pains, your most intense struggles. What if all of this were not random? And if every moment of anguish, every closed door, every rejection were part of a greater plan to keep you small, contained, unaware of your true potential? What I am about to reveal will challenge everything you believed about your life. It will recontextualize every scar, every tear, every moment of despair you have ever experienced. But more importantly, it will finally answer that question that echoes in the depths of your soul during sleepless nights. Why me? The synchronicities that brought you to this video are not a coincidence. You are here because the moment of truth has come to be revealed. The moment to discover why powerful forces tried to keep you ignorant of your true potential. The moment to understand why your suffering was not an accident but a desperate attempt to suppress your hidden powers and your destiny as a chosen one. Take a deep breath. This is the moment your higher self always knew would come. The first fundamental revelation is this: your suffering was a deliberate attack on your innate light. From the moment of your birth, you brought with you a unique energetic frequency. This vibrational signature is not just rare, it is transformative. Its mere presence in an environment alters the energy field around it. This innate ability to transform stagnant energies and elevate vibrations is a gift that the forces controlling this plane of existence deeply fear. Why? Because control systems rely on low frequencies, fear, doubt, inadequacy to keep the masses in a state of submission. Think about the first times you felt invalidated, ridiculed for your sensitivity, for seeing or feeling things that others couldn't perceive. They were not random experiences. They were systematic attempts to make you doubt your natural perceptions, your divine gift of seeing beyond the veil. The family, educational, and social structures that dimmed their light were not merely reproducing unconscious patterns. They were unknowingly serving as agents of a larger system designed to identify and suppress the chosen, those who naturally radiate a frequency capable of awakening others. Observe the highly sensitive, creative, and intuitive children being medicated, diagnosed, and normalized. This is not a random process. It is a systematic pattern. The first universal law of the chosen. Your initial suffering was proportional to your innate power, a direct attack on the light you cannot help but radiate. Second crucial revelation. What you perceive as your flaws are actually your developing superpowers. Those characteristics that made you feel out of place, inadequate, or wrong are precisely the attributes that the system fears. His keen sensitivity, his deep empathy, his instinctive refusal to accept nonsensical structures. These are not flaws to be corrected, but powers to be cultivated. Society invests heavily in making you believe that your greatest strengths are weaknesses. Why? Because a person who embraces their unique nature and divine gifts becomes impossible to control. Think about that aspect of your personality that has always made you feel different, that may have repeatedly caused conflicts or misunderstandings. Maybe it's your ability to detect falsehoods instantly, your need for deep meaning, or your natural intolerance to injustice. These problems are in fact facets of your divine operating system, functioning perfectly in a world programmed to malfunction. They are spiritual antennas tuned to higher frequencies that the collective still cannot easily access. The system depends on your belief that you are broken. The greatest threat to the status quo is a chosen one who understands that their perceived deficiencies are in fact emerging supernormal abilities. The second universal law of the chosen. Their greatest perceived vulnerabilities are portals to their most extraordinary powers. Third, transformative revelation. Your intense emotional pain was the system's defense mechanism against your expansion of consciousness. The chosen ones possess a natural ability to expand their consciousness beyond conventional limits. This expansion, when fully realized, allows perceptions that transcend linear time, the illusory separation, and the limitations of consensual reality. The system cannot allow such large-scale expansion as it would fundamentally challenge its control structures. The strategy: create and amplify emotional traumas that anchor your consciousness in states of basic survival. When you are worried about financial insecurity, social rejection, personal inadequacy, or existential fear, your energy becomes confined to lower vibrational fields. It's like a majestic bird, convinced that it is a terrestrial animal, unable to imagine the sky as its true domain. Observe the patterns in your life where moments of significant expansion have often been followed by seemingly unrelated emotional crises. This is not a random pattern. It is a mechanism of forced return to limitation. Intense emotional pain is particularly effective because it creates an internalized energy loop where you become your own jailer, limiting yourself through self-generated beliefs about your ability and worth. The third universal law of the chosen. Their most intense episodes of emotional suffering were direct responses to the moments when their consciousness began to transcend programmed limitations. Now, before we proceed to even deeper revelations, I need you to do something crucial for your own awakening. If what I have shared so far resonates with your life experience, if you recognize these patterns of suppression and limitation in your own journey, then you are undoubtedly one of the chosen whose consciousness is awakening at this critical moment in human history. The chosen ones need to recognize each other. We need to form a network of consciousness that strengthens each of us individually and amplifies our collective impact. Therefore, I ask you to now affirm yourself as part of this emerging community. Subscribe to the channel to be and to exist, turn on all notifications, and leave a like on this video as an energetic sign of your presence and commitment. This is not just a symbolic gesture. It is a vibrational alignment that strengthens the morphogenetic field we are creating together, allowing more chosen ones to awaken and find their way to this truth. Now let's proceed with even deeper revelations about the true nature of the conspiracy against your divine power. Fourth essential revelation. Your most painful relationships were deliberate attempts to fragment your energy. The chosen naturally possess a coherent and powerful energy field. This energetic coherence, when fully integrated, allows for extraordinary manifestations and direct influence over consensual reality. One of the most effective strategies to neutralize this power is to fragment its energy through relationships that create persistent states of emotional imbalance and energetic confusion. Observe the patterns in your most intense and painful relationships. You will notice surprising consistencies, dynamics that repeatedly drained your energy, confused your intuition, and created states of emotional dependency. These were not simply bad relationships or incompatibilities. They were specific energetic interactions designed to create internal fragmentation, constant doubt, and dispersion of your personal power. People with specific energetic frequencies were attracted to your life not by coincidence, but due to the vibrational field that naturally emanated from you. These frequencies were precisely calibrated to interfere with your natural coherence and keep your energy dispersed. Observe how often your deepest revelations and moments of clarity occurred during periods of isolation or after the end of intense relationships. This is not a coincidence, it is evidence of your energy regaining its natural coherence. The fourth universal law of the chosen. Their most unbalanced relationships were strategic attempts to keep their energy fragmented and prevent the integration of their full power. Fifth, transformative revelation. The synchronicities in your life are leaks of your natural manifestation power. The chosen ones possess an innate ability to directly influence the quantum field and manifest realities aligned with their energetic frequency. This ability is as natural to you as breathing, but it has been systematically suppressed through social and educational conditioning. When you experience synchronicities, extraordinary coincidences, significant events that seem perfectly orchestrated encounters that defy probability, You are witnessing your natural ability to manifest piercing through the veil of suppression. These are not happy coincidences or luck. They are demonstrations of your inherent power to co-create with the universe, moments when your energy was able to temporarily overcome the barriers imposed on your consciousness. Note that these synchronicities often occur during periods of heightened emotional clarity, focus, purpose, or the release of old patterns. In these states, you temporarily escape programmed limitations and access your natural ability to shape reality. The control system works tirelessly to make you attribute these extraordinary moments to chance or external forces when in fact, they are expressions of your own divine power emerging. The fifth universal law of the chosen. The synchronicities in your life are leaks of your natural power to manipulate the quantum field, a skill that has been deliberately suppressed to prevent your full creative sovereignty. If you are constantly seeking answers outside of yourself, perhaps you are looking exactly in the direction the system wants you to look. Stop for a moment. Breathe deeply. The truth has always been within you, waiting to be recognized and claimed. Before we continue our journey to even deeper revelations, I have an important message to share with you. This moment of pause is not random. It is an opportunity to integrate what you have already learned. Now, with our energy realigned, we are ready to explore even deeper truths about your true nature and the reason why such powerful forces have been working to keep you unaware of your divine power. Sixth, powerful revelation. Your physical health has been compromised as a strategy to limit your vital energy. The chosen naturally possess an extraordinary life force. This energy, when flowing freely, allows not only exceptional physical vitality, but also expanded consciousness, heightened perception, and the ability to influence surrounding energy fields. The system cannot allow you to access this full potential. The strategy: systematically compromise your physical health through multiple vectors, each designed to drain your life force and keep your consciousness focused on basic survival instead of spiritual expansion. Observe the mass-produced foods laden with substances that disrupt your endocrine system, compromise your cognitive clarity, and diminish your vital energy. Observe the saturated electromagnetic environments that interfere with your natural bioenergetic fields. Observe the medical systems that treat symptoms while ignoring the fundamental causes of imbalance. Your body is not defective. It was intentionally overloaded. Your fatigue is not normal. It is the result of deliberate interference with your natural energy systems. Your difficulties with weight, inflammation, allergies, or sensitivities are not random genetic failures. They are consequences of an environment designed to suppress your innate vitality. The periods in your life when you experienced exceptional physical well-being likely coincided with significant expansions of consciousness and accelerated manifestation. This is not a coincidence, it is the natural expression of your original state when free from interference. The sixth universal law of the chosen: your level of vital energy has been systematically compromised to prevent you from accessing the expanded states of consciousness that naturally accompany a full and unobstructed vital force. Seventh, transformative revelation. The existential crises you have experienced were the awakening of your divine purpose. The chosen ones come to this plane with specific missions, divine purposes that involve the transformation of collective consciousness. This knowledge of purpose is encoded in their essence, but it has been deliberately obscured through intense social programming. The profound crises of meaning and purpose you experienced, those periods of intense existential questioning, feelings of emptiness or despair regarding the meaning of life, were not dysfunctional states. They were attempts by your soul to break free from programming and reconnect with your original mission. These crises often occurred after you achieved goals that the system promises will bring fulfillment, professional success, financial stability, conventional relationships, social recognition. The emptiness you felt upon reaching these milestones was not an indication of ingratitude or failure. It was your higher self signaling that you were following a script that was not yours. The system relies on your search for purpose in pre-approved channels, that keep existing structures intact. Your true mission, however, almost certainly involves transforming these structures in some way. Note that these existential crises often coincided with powerful impulses for radical change, leaving established careers, ending seemingly stable relationships, or abandoning familiar communities. These were not self-destructive whims, they were attempts by your soul to realign your external life with your internal purpose. The seventh universal law of the chosen. Their deepest existential crises were attempts by their soul to break free from programming and reconnect with their original divine purpose of planetary transformation. Eighth, essential revelation. Your most traumatic experiences were direct attacks on your natural psychic gifts. The chosen are born with natural psychic sensitivities, telepathy, clairvoyance, energy perception, intuitive knowledge, and interdimensional communication. These are not supernatural abilities but normal aspects of human consciousness that have been systematically suppressed in the general population. The specific traumas you experienced, especially during childhood and adolescence, were not random events. They were precisely calibrated experiences to create dissociation between your consciousness and your innate psychic abilities. Trauma is particularly effective in fragmenting and compartmentalizing consciousness. When a highly psychic child experiences trauma, they often shut off their perceptual abilities as a protective mechanism. This disconnection, originally a temporary survival mechanism, is then reinforced by social conditioning that denies the validity of these perceptions. Observe the moments in your childhood when you knew things without being informed, saw or felt energies that others did not perceive or experienced, expanded states of consciousness. Probably these experiences were followed by events that created intense fear, shame, or confusion. You were systematically trained to doubt what you naturally perceived, to prioritize external consensus over your internal wisdom, and to fear your own expanded perceptual abilities. The eighth universal law of the chosen. Your most significant traumas were specifically designed to disconnect you from your natural psychic abilities, keeping you limited to conventional sensory perception. Ninth, transformative revelation. Your persistent need for external approval was an artificial implant to neutralize your innate inner authority. The chosen naturally possess strong inner authority, an innate ability for discernment and decision-making based on internal wisdom rather than external consensus. This inner authority is extraordinarily powerful, allowing you to navigate reality based on deeper truths that transcend social conventions. The system cannot allow such inner authority to flourish, as it would essentially make you immune to external manipulation. The strategy? Implant dependence on external validation from childhood, creating a vacuum of internal authority that can only be filled by the approval of authority figures. This program was implemented through educational systems that prioritize external evaluation over self-discovery, family dynamics that condition love to obedience, and social structures that reward conformity while punishing independent thinking. Observe how deeply the need for external approval is rooted in your psyche. Observe how significant decisions throughout your life have been influenced by the fear of disapproval or the desire for validation. This is not your original nature, it is an implanted program. In the rare moments when you acted purely from your inner wisdom, independent of external opinions, you probably experienced extraordinary clarity, precision in decisions and results that served your greater good, even when they initially seemed to contradict conventional logic. The ninth universal law of the chosen. Your dependence on external approval was artificially implanted to neutralize your natural inner authority and keep you vulnerable to manipulation by social consensus. Tenth and deepest revelation. Your true identity completely transcends the person you were conditioned to believe you are. The chosen are not merely humans with special abilities or specific missions. Your true essence is much vaster and more fundamental than that. You are in your deepest nature, an individualized expression of universal consciousness, a focal point through which the divine experiences this plane of reality. This is not an abstract concept or spiritual metaphor. It is the literal reality of your existence. The person you believe yourself to be with your personal history, characteristics, fears, and desires is a temporary construct, a vehicle through which your true essence interacts with this reality. The most fundamental control system is the complete identification with this limited identity. As long as you believe it is just your personal story and personality, your power remains contained in a fabricated construct. In moments of profound stillness, transcendent experiences, or altered states of consciousness, you have likely glimpsed your vaster nature. In those moments, the worries and limitations of your personal identity temporarily dissolved, revealing an expansion that defies description. These were not temporary mystical experiences. They were glimpses of your true nature, moments when the veil of separate identity briefly lifted. The 10th and most fundamental universal law of the Chosen. Your true identity is infinitely vaster, more powerful and fundamental than the person you were conditioned to believe you are, and the full recognition of this truth is the ultimate threat to all systems of control. Now take a moment to integrate everything that has been revealed. Breathe deeply and allow these truths to resonate in the depths of your being. What will you do with this knowledge? How will your life change now that you understand that your suffering was not an accident, but a deliberate attempt to suppress your true nature and power? This is a decisive moment in your journey. The veil has been lifted. The truth has been revealed. The system that worked so diligently to keep you unaware of your divine power is losing its control. Reflect now on which of these revelations touched your soul most deeply. Which truth awakened the most powerful recognition within you? This is the key to the next stage of your liberation and expansion. Share your most impactful revelation in the comments below. This act is not merely leaving a comment, it is a public declaration of your truth, a powerful step to reclaim your authentic voice, and a hand extended to other chosen ones who are awakening simultaneously. If these revelations resonate with the truths your soul has always known, subscribe now to the To Be and To Exist channel, turn on notifications, and leave your like as a conscious affirmation of your commitment to your own awakening and the collective transformation we are manifesting together. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. We are many awakenings simultaneously, all over the planet, each with our unique gifts and specific purposes, all contributing to the greatest transformation of consciousness this plane has ever experienced. The attempt to suppress her divine radiance failed. The time to reclaim your power has come. The world needs the chosen ones now more than ever. Until we meet again, keep your light shining at its brightest. The universe conspires in your favor. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share your insights from today with us in the comments below. Namaste.